Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. Kind of interesting stuff actually. Quite a huge haul of stuff today actually. Pretty surprising just because around lunchtime I had a little bit of time at lunch and I got out of work for a bit and went down to one of the shops, and actually I ran into Longshot there, and he said he'd already been to the other couple stores that were in that area and there was absolutely nothing to be found. So it's kind of disheartening to hear that kind of news, but obviously if there was something to be found he would have got it. So that's the way that was going anyway. So we were talking in the store and I showed him this item here that I picked up, which is a PlayStation 1 system, like the slim version. Came with 2 controllers, which is pretty cool. I wasn't really looking so much at the system so much. Like, I do look inside of systems, and this is the reason why I picked it up though. It has Spyro Year of the Dragon in there. It's the greatest hits version of it because you can tell it doesn't have the painted artwork on it. It's just the silver artwork, but the disc in it is like absolutely mint, so it's very beautiful. I think I might have the extra case, just I haven't even had a chance to check yet, so hopefully I do, and I'll just be able to sell off the system. It also came with 2 memory cards, which are cool. They're both first party memory cards and they're different colors here, so that's kind of neat right there for sure. So for all that it was 20 bucks. Now the Goodwill has this thing, they've changed their policies again, which is really irritating. So way back, like earlier on in 2014 and previous to that, they always had deal days. Basically, like if it was, for instance, Tuesday was when you could pick out video games and they'd be half price, and then there was always like a color that was 75% off on Fridays, I think it was. I'm trying to remember back now, but I think that's pretty much the way that it worked. And that was a pretty wicked deal actually, because you could go in and get games for like 75 cents, $1.25 and stuff like that. Those days are long gone. That's not going to be happening anymore, which is really unfortunate. But what happened was they changed their policies, and then it became it's a color of the week, which really sucks because basically by the time that color comes around, everything good has been sold, and all you're left with is basically the junk. So you don't really get a really good deal. And then it was so on those days it was half price on whatever color. So let's say it was like red tag, then like that week everything on red tag was half price. But like I said, everything would be gone. Like something wouldn't sit there for 2 weeks if it was semi-decent. So that was the problem with that system. That really irritated me. And now they've gone even further and they've canceled all of that. And now what they do is if you spend more than $20, or if you spend $30, you get $10 off. So basically you have to spend $20 worth of stuff or $30 worth of stuff to get a deal. And even when you do that, you're only getting like 33.3 infinity, percentage off kind of thing. So I mean, now it's not even half price. So I mean, it's just getting worse and worse out there to get a deal. But because I got this system, which was $20, basically it didn't harm me any to buy $30 worth of stuff. So I had to pick out a couple of titles, which, nothing really impressive here or anything like that. Basically I had to choose them out of the fact that because I was spending 20 bucks, I might as well spend 30, because then I'm spending $20 on $30 worth of stuff. So I mean, that's the way it works now. It's really ridiculous. The first one here I got is just Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers for GameCube. It's incomplete. Like I said, didn't really want this one, but the disc is in reasonable shape, so not too bad. So that was like the throw-in type of one. Actually, I guess I paid $1 for it because it was $6, and so was this other title. And it's Pac-Man Versus and Pac-Man World 2. So Pac-Man Versus, the combo pack. So there it is right there. Missing the manual as well, but the 2 discs are in it. I really just picked this one up. I mean, they're not in the world's greatest shape, that's for sure. Definitely need to be cleaned up. This one though, I mean, I really just picked it up in case I needed a double case or something like that. So maybe I can just get away with selling off the discs or something like that. I don't really know totally, but those 2 were basically like $1 each because of that deal. So I'm pretty happy with the game that was in here. I don't really need the system. I'm gonna be trading that off for sure, and this stuff's just for trade too. But hopefully I can I think with all of that, I mean, I'll easily be able to recoup my $20 investment, but just kind of a bummer that you're sort of being strong-armed into buying stuff at the Goodwill. Moving on from there, at the other Goodwill, same kind of scenario. So there's a couple of games I was interested in. Once I got up to 3 games I was interested in, I was like, well, might as well just buy a 4th game, get up to, you know, $20, and then buy 2 more, get up to 30, so I can get $20 worth of stuff. Like, it's sort of weird to figure it out, but essentially I'd end up buying 6 games in order to get up to the $30 so that I could spend 20 on these 6 titles, which isn't totally a bad deal necessarily. I mean, 6 games for $20 isn't too bad. So take a look though. So basically, I don't know what that worked out to, like, you know, like 3 something a game. The couple of throw-ins were these ones. The first one is Star Wars: The Complete Saga. I already have this on the 360, so playing on the Wii doesn't really interest me that much, but there it is. It's totally complete. And the disc on it may need resurfacing. I'm not totally certain, but I do have the machine for that, so that's not a big deal. So that's that one. And then the other throw-in was Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Again, I already have this on the 360, so I don't really need it on the Wii. But there it is. It's totally complete. The disc on this one's a lot better. It's pretty, actually almost perfect. So it's just got some fingerprints and stuff on it. So not too bad. Moving on from there, I picked up this one here, which is Mystery Case Files: The Mulgrave Incident. My wife really likes on Facebook this, I don't know what, I think it might be called this as well. I'm not really sure, but I always see her playing it. It's just like one of these things where you like find things in the picture. I see her playing it a lot, so I thought maybe this would get her to sit down on the TV with me and maybe play a game. So it's pretty cool. There's some Nintendo Club points hidden in behind here too, which I haven't cashed in yet, so I'll have to remember to take those out of there. The next one here is Epic Mickey, and this one here as well has some club points in it, so that's sweet. But there it is right there. And this one here, the disc is not too bad. It's pretty good, and I didn't have this in my collection, so that was something I was looking forward to getting. I think on the Wii it would actually be kind of fun because you're like doing this like drawing actions and stuff like that, so it's probably a pretty enjoyable game. And then one that I was interested in was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. I think I have this on other systems, I'm not totally certain about it, but pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's missing its manual, which is a real bummer because it would be nice. Now this disc I can tell is being resurfaced before, but it is in great shape other than that, so it must have been in pretty brutal shape because they resurfaced it before. And the last one, which is going to need a resurfacing because it's pretty ugly, but definitely worth it, is Mario Kart Wii. So that was one of the ones that I was definitely after. Everything's in here, and I think there's a Nintendo Club points in there too as well, but pretty cool. Like I said though, hopefully you can see this on the camera, it's pretty chewed up. It's pretty rough shape, so I don't even know if that'll play. It might, but it looks pretty brutal to me. But anyways, I figured I'd get that. I have a copy of this already, but mine's already sealed, so I'm just gonna maybe resurface this one, see how it works out. If it works out, I might just sell off my sealed copy and get a bunch of cash for it, because I'm not really into sealed games necessarily, so that's pretty cool right there. So yeah, for all of those 6 games I paid $20, so it's not too bad of a deal really when you look at it. It's just not as good as it would have been back in the day kind of thing. So that's that. And then moving on, I also went into a Value Village and I found this, which is pretty neat. It's a Xbox 360 controller. I paid $7 for it, which is a little steep. They don't normally charge that much for controllers, but this one here is actually pretty cool. If you haven't seen this model of 360 controller before, I actually had this controller boxed and complete in my collection, but haven't really taken it out. Now I actually can play around with this one because I don't really want to mess with the other one. But there it is right there. This is one of those ones where you can turn the D-pad here and it actually like raises it. I don't know if you can see that. There it's like flush with the gray part of it there, and then when you go like this it actually pops out. I guess it's good for some sort of action on some sort of game. I'm not really sure why, but otherwise it's a pretty cool controller. It is missing its back cover, but I believe this model, the back cover of it is actually black, which I have tons of those because I actually use rechargeable batteries in mine, so I can just put the black backing on that and that'll be really awesome right there. $7, not too bad of a deal, I think. And then moving on, I picked this up at one of the pawn shops that I go into. Pretty cool deal actually. It's Wolfenstein for the Xbox 360. And this one here is totally complete, so that's pretty sweet. The disc on it's not perfect, but that's what the resurfacer's for again, so pretty cool deal. And that one there was $4.99, which is an awesome deal I think for this one. I played this back in the day, really fun 360 game, that's for sure. And then moving on from there, there's even more now. This is the area that Longshot had passed through, and he didn't find anything earlier on in the day. I actually went back after the fact when I was finished work, went through this area, and I found a ton of Game Boy Advance games and a couple other games as well. So most of them are Game Boy Advance. So the first one here isn't, and it's New Super Mario Bros. For the DS, and for that it was $5, which is a killer deal for that for sure. Moving on, there was Final Fight 1 for the Game Boy Advance, and I don't really want to take all these out of the bag, it's going to take too long, but $5 for that one. Then Sonic Battle for the Game Boy Advance, same thing. All these are the same price. Contra Advance Alien Wars, Altered Beast, WarioWare Inc., Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, Castlevania Area of Sorrow, and Metroid Prime. So all of those games were actually, there's actually a lot more. These are the ones I picked out of it, but just some really wicked titles. Really awesome deals right there. And then the last thing is actually something that my wife hooked up on a Facebook group that she's involved in. It's just like a motherhood kind of site or whatever, and sometimes they do trading and things like that on it, so they're just trading back and forth, and somebody was basically unloading a bunch of DS games. There was a ton of them in there actually, and I got a lot of them, but not all of them, because some people had spoken first, and I think the way it works basically is like first come first serve, so that's not a big deal though, because the quality titles I got were amazing. They weren't being picked over basically by, you know, gamers trying to build their collections kind of thing. They were being picked over by people that wanted like things for their kids or whatever. So this is pretty awesome because there's a lot of value in some of these titles. So I'll get into it right now. It came in like this little envelope here. So the first one I'll show you here is Legend of Zelda and Phantom Hourglass. So that's pretty cool. It's $5 for that. Super Mario 64 DS, $5 for that one. There was a Kirby Squeak Squad, $5 for that one. Super Princess Peach, which I really wanted to get my hands on because it's actually like a Mario type platformer sort of thing, but with Princess Peach, so it's kind of cool. That one there's $5 obviously. Mario Party DS, $5. And Kirby Canvas Curse for $5. So those really pretty stellar titles I think for the DS. It was just $30 for the 6 of them, so really awesome deal right there, $5 each. I can't turn that down at all. So that was everything from today. Pretty big lot of stuff actually. Really impressed with like these Castlevania type titles on the Game Boy Advance. I don't know how they play necessarily, but they're definitely worth it, and Contra and stuff like that, like really quality titles here. So thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I will see you all later.